So I'm gonna do another little part three of my walk away video, and this is this is leading up from a lot of different things that have been happening in my life recently, and none of them are like really that out of the ordinary or you know it's just things that have made me realize the political divide within our society, and I think that being in school, being in a state school, and really hearing the ideas of the youth. Uh, we've been studying World War II in my history class lately, and I think it's interesting to hear what the youth really thinks about this and how they are able to tie the events of World War II to what's going on with the Trump administration. And while I think most of their concerns are really, honestly stupid, um, I try to talk to these people, and I try to um, maybe either provide some clarity or see if they can provide me some clarity. I never think that I have the end all be all of right answers. You know what I'm saying? But I do think that there is a lot of hypocrisy within the Progressive Party and the Democratic Party lately, and it shows a lot. And I think that it's interesting. Like the other day, somebody said in my history class that Heil Hitler or he might have said Sieg Heil and Make America Great Again are a skip and a jump away from each other. And, to that I was like, dude, what do you base this argument off of? And he started talking about the caravan and how we were going to be turning away refugees. And, you know, to that I said, you can't really say that we're going to be turning them away until it actually happens. You can act like Trump's word means anything, and like you can't act like his word means nothing and then all of a sudden act like it means something. When you're constantly saying that Trump is a liar and that his word is good for nothing and where's the wall and all this bullshit, then why aren't you taking that into account with your own arguments? And like they were bitching about how Trump is going to be setting up tent cities and to as a facility to hold these potential refugees. And to that I say, what did they do different in Europe that you find to be satisfactory that you would not find with satisfactory with us doing that in America? Because they set up tent cities for Muslim refugees and refugees of the war in the Middle East in Europe all of the time so to me it's like where when could Trump be doing something that you would agree with? Is there ever a time that Trump could do something that you would agree with? And like not only that, like what about the people that are already in the country that are seeking asylum? What about the homeless Americans who don't even get a tent provided to them? You know what I mean? Why aren't we worrying about everyone, not just this group of 5,000 people that are showing up on our doorstep? Like how do you? I just don't know. I think that the whole thing is like it's completely a like popularity contest, and unfortunately the country seems to be divided like into about a 50-50 split between who we think is cooler, the Democrats or the Republicans. And honestly, they're the exact same fucking people. It's just that they have different rhetoric. They have different they use different semantics to explain their positions. which makes it seem as if they're opposites from one another, when really they're the exact same fucking people. And I just get fucking so sick of it. I'm so sick. You know, when I did my walk away video, I I didn't really realize that that meant that we were walking away from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party. To me, I thought the walk away party was like, fuck Democrats. I'm sick of this. I don't want any more of that. And I mean, while there could be some okay things with Republicans, I'm not like beelining it towards the Republican Party. I'm not one way or the other. I consider myself to be a centralist and an independent. And while I would be more tempted to vote to the right than I would be to the left at this point in my life, I'm not trying to set out any type of hardened position for myself. And I hope that doesn't. I hope I don't lose some fans because of that. Like if I do, I guess that's whatever. But I love everyone, and I want everyone to do well, including Democrats. I want Democrats to basically start over. I think it would be great for the Democratic Party, and it would be great for the country if we could just say, okay, we've obviously there's something wrong. People are not turning out to vote for us, and I suspect that will be the case come the 6th. But it's just really it's a confusing time. It's a very back and forth type of conflict between these two groups who have these sets of ideas that really are not that contradictory from one another. They all look out for corporate interests, and they all look out for what's going to work best, what's going to keep us from being invaded. And while the Democratic Party seems to be okay with this caravan, I don't consider it to necessarily be an invasion, like Trump has said. I don't think it's really an invasion. I think it is, it is very much so the way that, caravans of refugees have entered countries in the past. That it's happened throughout time. And I think that we should not be so quick to think that these people are bad or I heard that the Venezuelan government was funding this caravan at least to a large degree, and to that I say, if the Venezuelan government is trying to get rid of some of their people and send them to America, with all this socialist communist shit that's going on in Venezuela, I would think that the majority of Venezuelans coming to the U.S. as refugees would probably vote to the right. And that's just, I might be completely wrong on that. But, I do know someone, I don't personally know him, but someone that works with my mother's boyfriend is from Venezuela, and he's seeking asylum right now. And, he seems to be a pretty right-leaning type of individual from what I've heard about him. And I don't think that just because you are from Central America, South America, Central America, Honduras, wherever, that you're going to be necessarily dangerous. I think that we should keep an open mind, and we should not be so quick to turn a blind eye to really what amounts to prejudice. And I just hope that everyone, like I always say, just be nicer, guys. Try to be a bit more interested in the facts rather than your presumptions. And that's it. I love you guys. Peace.